All right, what is up, Schwing Dynasty? Coming to you guys from makeshift Schwing World headquarters, Medford, Oregon. Probably the most happening thing happening in Medford, Oregon. For those of you guys don't know, Oregon is like a weird kind of square. It's just as a general idea, it's not a square. It's got like all on the sides, but in a way it's like a square or a rectangle with a river border on top. Relatively flat southern border, or a straight line southern border of California. And then I think another river border on the east side, and then the coast on the west side. So it kind of makes a little like, goes doop, and there's a little like kind of chimney thing on the top left, and then it goes across and then kind of down. But in general, it's sort of rectangular in shape. You could easily cut it into a rectangle right along the border if you just straighten out the river. And we are at the very southern end down here in Medford, right by the border of California. My wife's hometown of Ashland is about, I don't know, 7 miles south of here. And it's about 10-15 miles from the border of California. So we're right down here south, just north of the California border. My hometown, Portland, where Sean and Steve and Adam are basically at, is the very northern side, right up by Washington, about a 5-hour drive from here. So we're very southern Oregon. They're very northern Oregon. Phil is in Yuba City, which is about a 4-hour drive from Medford here, down into east California, sort of closer to the eastern border, and then south of here, not too far east, but you know, a little bit of California. That's for Phil. So we're here on the West Coast and setting up, trying to get Schwing World headquarters at least started. This is not a permanent location. There's a lot of stuff in this garage that needs to be cleared out still. And I definitely did not consider how cold it would be during October in Southern Oregon. This is a relatively mild place compared to Portland, a lot less rain, but it's cold. And it's a lot less cold than where I used to live in Central Oregon, which is over the mountains. But it's still cold here today, this morning especially. I am on October break. I'm home, getting to do a little bit longer of a show, which I'm pumped about. Hopefully no distraction. Got the dog crated, got the son. Good parenting on watching Disney Plus. So parent of the year right here. So I can focus on the Schwing World. I can focus on you guys for a little bit longer today. I've got the recap of last week. I've got best ball status. I've got something else. Yeah, this week's coming projections, of course. But I'm just happy to get a little bit longer with you guys. But it's cold in here. But I've got the flag up. Got my Jerry jersey here. Let's see if we can show you guys. Boom. Got Rice World here. I don't know if you guys know this about me. I know you know that I'm a Niners fan, but Jerry Rice is my favorite player of all time. My old cat, we named him Rice. We got 2 cats up in Portland before we went to Doha. There was a little black cat who was already named Montana. And we're like, okay, we got Montana, let's name, and then my wife that was her cat, was Montana. And so I was like, okay, if we got Montana, then I'm gonna name my cat Rice. So we had Rice and Montana. Rice was an asshole. It was a terrible cat. No, he was, he loved me. He did love me, but he was one of those, it was a love-hate relationship for sure. I know, Sean, all cats are assholes. That's what you would say about that. But Montana was an amazing cat. He was great. And Rice kind of picked on him. But whatever. I've got another Niners jersey up here, but it's hard to tell. I really want to get more of this wall cleared off and put these things up, which actually is most likely to be on the wall that's behind the camera here. Is more likely to be kind of a permanent home. This wall has shelves and other things on it that I don't really see myself moving. And honestly, looking at this garage, I'm like, do I ever see this actually happening? Maybe if I could get more stuff put into storage, we could get this set up. But at least for now, we have something. And, There's a nice couch in here. I'm sitting on a really nice, comfortable couch. I'd love to leave out here and see if my wife lets me do that or if we have to sell it. And I'm trying the AirPods today. I don't even know if it's recording over the AirPods. It might be recording over the phone's audio still. If that's the case, and I hear it back and it's not that big of an improvement, I think I'm looking at getting a little microphone that would connect on here. That way, like, wherever I am, have similar audio level, because based on the acoustics, it changes a lot, whether I'm in the classroom or here. So anyways, good to be with you guys. Happy to be doing a video that I can spend a little bit more time on. I'll try not to make it too long. But I've got a little different look at last week than I usually do. I'm not going to go into as in-depth of a breakdown of each game. We all know the results. So I'm just going to go through the results. I'm going to have top takeaways, and then I'll do an MVP and a dumb shit sit. And the Large March award for this week. So the week that was, oh man. Okay, let's just go through these results. Bert beat me 182 to 156. My team is not putting up points right now. Lucas beat Phil. This was a kind of a crazy game. Lucas topped Phil 212 to 190. High scoring affair there. Steve over JD 206 to 185. Again, a lot of teams beating their average points on the year in this week, except for me. And then in this game, Adam beat Mark 156 to 132. Man, yeah, Mark needs to be careful. He might drop a couple games here to some teams that you wouldn't have expected that from at the beginning of the year. And since I have his first round pick, I'm all for it, man. Keep it up, Mark. Russ is down now. We'll see how long that lasts. He says a few weeks, but yeah, it's pretty nasty tear or break in that hand. I don't know. And then the game of the week, Sean over Daryl, actually ended up being kind of a blowout. It looked like it could be a game entering Monday night, but then that Monday night affair just was points galore for anyone who had players in there. And it ends up being Sean 227 to 178 over Daryl. In an easy affair in the end for Sean. Okay, so top takeaways, things that I noticed when I was looking at these games. Number one, I lost to Bert, who left out Dalvin Cook, or who left Dalvin Cook on his lineup and got 0 points. And when I saw that on Sunday morning, I was like, Bert's asleep. He's not noticing that Dalvin's out. Part of the problem of living in China is just one more reason that Bert shouldn't live in China. And I still lost to him because I lost Saquon Barkley right after that. Like Saquon had been putting up points again. He's back to like over 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 points a game, playing good football. And then this freak thing, some guy runs underneath him, steps on it, and just his ankle turns over. And then I got stuffed again by Waller and Brandon Cooks. I really intended to move Brandon Cooks out of this lineup. I do not like starting a number one wide receiver against the Patriots. Belichick just, he knows what to do with the top target and on a team. And I left Cooks in, moved in my flex, intended to move someone else in that flex spot. It wouldn't have mattered. I don't think I had anyone on the bench worth playing necessarily in this game. I'm just down too many running backs. I just don't have... I guess Devin Singletary, it wouldn't have mattered though. Still lost by more points than Saquon would have gotten me most likely. Well, I lost by 26 points. So Saquon's in for the full game. Maybe I end up winning this. It's possible. Anyways, that's one takeaway. I lost to Bert even though Dalvin Cook had 0 points in his lineup. Number two, Phil had his best week this week of the season at 190 points. And I think it beat his top only by like 5 or 6. He had a 185 week, but it was about 40 more points than he's normally been scoring. He's been in the 145 to 150 range, except for week 1, which he won, and he got 185 points or so. Phil had his best week this week at 190 points, but it was stymied by Lucas's best week at 212 points, and that was 66 points above Lucas's average. So Lucas's team crushes it all of a sudden. 212 points, huge efforts by Lucas's team, and he comes out with a victory over Phil's best week that he's had on the season. So that's got to be frustrating for Phil. who's at 1-4 now. And then next takeaway is Steve's. Steve Stars are finally playing big. I mean, they have been off and on, but not always together. Derrick Henry, 38 points. Devontae Adams, 37 points. Austin Eckler, 39 points. Steve got to 206, beat JD, who had possibly his best week of the season too. And that's what you expected to see from Steve's team was 200 points plus most weeks. His team is aging. It is aging, but those guys are still putting it up. I mean, for another season or two, his starters are great. Number 4 takeaway that I have from this week: Mark's in trouble until Russ is back. We got to see those receivers continue to produce with Geno Smith. Chris Carson is banged up. Russ is out. I don't know what that's going to look like for Metcalf and Lockett. You wonder. I have Lockett in another league, and you wonder what direction's Geno going to go. Is he going to rely on DK and just throwing it anywhere near him and hoping he outmans his team or outmuscles his opponent? Or is he going to go with Lockett, who maybe gets a little clearer of separation? Or is he just going to be terrible and Mark's going to get so few points out of his Seahawks for the next few weeks? He's already going... I mean, he gets to put in, I think, Matt Stafford, so he's okay at quarterback. This isn't a quarterback issue. This is the rest of his team issue. It could help the defense, though. Maybe teams don't have to keep up with the Seahawks offense, so they try to keep the ball. They try to control the clock a little bit more. And then the Seahawks, maybe their defense is getting some extra points. But for now, it's looking like this is going to really hurt Mark's team until Russ is back. 5 takeaway, the 5th takeaway. Sean's receivers are good. They're higher than 7th, Sean. Congratulations. But they're not really the reason he's winning. They're part of it, but it's not like they are dominating so much. It's kind of his quarterback, running back, and tight end this week were the reason he won. His receivers this week combined for 60 points. That's with 4 players, including Amari Cooper in the flex. That's 15 points a game. It's solid. And I know that he seems to have these 20-plus point games from 1 or 2 of them a week that really boost their average. He's got 3 in the top 12, possibly top 13, I think, actually, which is great. But it's Tom Brady. His running backs are really hitting their stride, and Mark Andrews, my goodness, oh goodness gracious, that was a game. But they're good. They're good receivers. Yes, they're not 7th, Sean, but I had to see it first. I wanted to see that before I believed that. Terry McLaurin is really benefiting from Taylor Heinicke. I know this week it wasn't, but Heinicke wants to target McLaurin. So that's good for them. All right, week MVP, Justin Herbert. Yeah, boy, Justin Herbert, who I think I get to play this week. Oh, no. 51.8 points. Helped Lucas defeat Phil's best week of the year. So that's our MVP of the week. Big Herb, big Justin Herbert. The dumb shit sit goes to Phil on the other side of that matchup. Alexander Mattison on the bench. Again, Burt didn't catch Cook being out. Maybe Phil wasn't confident in what Mattison would do. And he walks away with 34.55 points. And he could have put him in over Damian Harris in the slot. It was a 19-point difference. Phil still would have lost, but he would have lost 212 to 209. An even closer game. Probably would have been more heartbreaking, so maybe it's good he left him out. But yeah, man, Alexander Mattison, auto start anytime Dalvin Cook is out from now on. And then last we have our large Marge. The large Marge goes to Sean. He had a 49-point win over Daryl, and that was our large Marge. Hopefully she's here. Large Marge, margin of victory. So there we go. Tell him Large Marge sent you. Okay, best ball rundown. This week's top 3, I got the top score of the week, 258 points. That is the #1 week we've ever had in our best ball league in the 2 seasons we've been playing, 258, and then Adam at 232 and Phil at 225. So I get the big week, but it's not enough for me to catch Phil quite yet, or at this point, Phil is still in the lead. And he has, on the season, 991 points. I'm not going to give everyone points. I'm going to give how far back you are from Phil. So I'm 16 points back. So this week I upped Phil by 33 points, and now I'm 16 points behind him. Lucas is 48 points behind Phil in third place. Fourth place is Daryl, 51 points behind Phil. Fifth is JD, 70 points back. Then Bert, 94 points back. Then Sean, 134 points back. Steve, 173 points back. Adam, 178 points back. And Mark at 234 points behind Phil at this point in 10th place. All right, so that's our weekly recap, and now we're going to get into this upcoming week and what we're doing. So, game of the week, that's last. I got to get on my page here. I'm going to start. There's some good matchups this week. There's one clear game of the week to me. I don't like to keep putting the same people in game of the week, but sometimes it's what's got to happen. This week, the non-games of the week are still pretty good. We got an interesting game here. Duck the Vax, Phil at 1-4 against Oregon Beer Force at 3-2. So Phil's not off to the start I expected from him. I thought he'd be doing a little bit better than this. The points haven't come. When they have come this week, he didn't win. And then Mark got off to a screaming start, I think 3-0, and has lost 2 in a row now, partially thanks to Russell Wilson this week, costing him a game against Adam. So he's at 3-2 now. And the projection is 171 for Phil to 163 for Mark. Mark said it. He's counting on his defense to shut down Phil. You know, Mark has power bottom type defense at times, and he's hoping to shut Phil down here, because right now it favors Phil, and I think it's going to be Phil's game here. Seattle receivers without Russ. Again, I talked about it before. What's going to happen there? Are they just going to go lock down, try to run the ball, try to win with defense? What's it going to look like for Seattle? They've at times gone away from trusting Russell Wilson. Are they really going to trust Geno Smith? Is Chris Carson going to play? Does Mark have anyone to put in if Chris Carson doesn't play? He has Josh Jacobs in the slot, can slide into the running back position, but then filling in that slot's going to be rough. And is Josh Jacobs really good? Is he really healthy? So it's not a great week, not a great string of events for Mark's team here. But Phil already has Alvin Kamara on bye, which gives Mark a window here, gives him a chance to win. If Kamara was playing, this is a slam dunk pick for me to go with Phil. But that window could be shut if Kareem Hunt gets touchdowns. If he gets a touchdown or two, Phil gets this win somewhat comfortably. I think he gets at least a touchdown. I'm hoping he gets at least a touchdown for another league I'm in, and Phil wins this game. So Phil will go to 2-4. Mark will fall to 3-3. Hot start, and then a cool, I guess not whatever comes after the start. Midsection here. Mark's midsection, not hot. Anyways, next game up. So I got Phil winning that one. Next game up is me, the Lord of the Schwings, against Riddle Me This. We're both 2-3. It's not been the start that I want. It's Lucas. I don't know. I'm not sure what Lucas's expectations were coming into the year. It's clear he had some talent on his team, but we made our trade. I now have Christian McCaffrey. He now has Antonio Gibson. Christian McCaffrey, of course, gets hurt right after I trade for him. Devastating. Maybe the week after. Maybe I had 1 week of him. Is Christian McCaffrey going to return for this game in time to beat his former manager? That's almost my only hope. With Saquon, if I don't have Christian McCaffrey, David Montgomery, and Saquon Barkley, and at that point, I think I'd be relying on Darrell Henderson and Devin Singletary in the running game. Maybe I could put Khalil Herbert in and hope he gets a touchdown or two. Yeah, that's not making me happy. There's 3 running backs that should be in my lineup that are not. But I think Christian McCaffrey will play. I almost wonder if I should just hope that he doesn't and just gets fully healthy. I don't know. So will Christian McCaffrey return in time to beat his former manager? Or is Justin Herbert going to beat one of his biggest fans, me? I think it's a really big, interesting quarterback matchup. We got Dak at New England. Not pumped for that part of my lineup. And he's got Herbert at Baltimore. Carson Wentz lit up Baltimore's defense last week. I don't know. If I have to guess, I think that Brandon Cooks at Indy is going to get me the win. That's I know it's weird, but I think Brandon Cooks has a bounce back week, and I think he's going to help propel me to a closer than comfortable victory. And that's what I'm going with. I'm going with myself. I think Christian McCaffrey will play. I don't know what I'll get out of him. I think Darrell Henderson could have a big game against the Giants. And I think Brandon Cooks gets me the win at Indy. And I'm hoping Antonio Gibson does not beat me and that Justin Herbert is not the reason I lose. Hope Herbie has a good day and Len Lucas loses anyway. So going with me here, picking myself. All right, next game we got Cali Style against Pickin' Jerry's Berries. JD, Cali Style is 1-4. Pickin' is 2-3. Right now, this projection, right now, Cali Style, 150.28 points. And Adam's current projection is 88.76. 88 points. Almost 89 points, let's be fair. He has 5 of his normal starters on bye. Mac Jones will replace Trey Lance. Oh, sorry, Mac Jones or Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know who he's going to go with, but one of those guys will replace Trey Lance, and that will bump his projection up about 22 points and put him at about 110 points. But there's not a lot of options on his roster to replace those other bye-week players. And JD is going to win because of that. If JD doesn't win this, it's time to pack it in because Adam, I don't know who he's going to replace those starters with. I looked at it through his roster. It's not good. It's not good options. So almost by default, JD is going to win this week because Adam, I don't even know if he's going to be able to field the full team. If he wins this, it's definitely time for Thanksgiving. If Adam gets a 3-3 with this current roster this week. So JD gets that win. He goes to 2-4. Adam falls to 2-4 as well. And yeah, is that it? I feel like no, I doubled up a page there. All right. Well, obviously it's not that it because we got to get to the game of the week. But first we have our last non-game of the weweek, which is the Albuquerque Janes. The Albuquerque Janes going up against Paler Broncos. 3-2 for the Janes, 2-3 for the Broncos. Very disappointing start, but you can tell the momentum's there, the points are there, the wins will come for Steve, and he's going to be a playoff team. I have almost no doubt about that. Right now, the projection for this game is the Janes 184.92 to the Broncos 189.92, exactly a 5-point spread. And the key in this game is Mahomes versus the Washington football team. With a secondary, well, not a secondary key, part of that key is who's going to benefit more from that. Is it going to be Tyreek Hill, which completes the Janes stack, or is it going to be Travis Kelce, who is a little bit banged up, I guess? I don't know. He had some weird thing that happened with his leg at garbage time last week. I give this the benefit to Daryl's stack of Mahomes and Hill here. Washington football team surprisingly bad at defense this year. Not getting to the quarterback, and that's not a good thing with Patrick Mahomes back there. Will this be the return of Steph Diggs? Is Claypool going to continue to break out with Juju out? Here's where I think it's going to separate. And this is an upset. I'm picking Darryl to win this. And I think it's going to be Myles Gaskin that propels him to this upset. I don't feel good about this pick because Steve has been scoring points, and I think he will. I think he'll be right around his projection of 190, basically. But I think Darryl might have a good, one of those Darryl weeks where all of a sudden his team explodes. And I think it's going to be on the backs of Hill and Mahomes. I think Steph Diggs will have a better game, but Myles Gaskin had a better week last week. I think that they saw this is their best running back. In my opinion, this is their best running back. Enough of the Malcolm Brown stealing touches. Get Myles Gaskin the ball through the air. Make it easy for Jacoby Brissett. Get Myles Gaskin the ball. Let him do some things in the passing game. And get Darrell some points. And I think that's what's going to happen. I'm going to pick Darrell to beat Steve here. Even though Steve's been on a roll. And it's going to be brutal for Steve to be staring down the pipe of 2-4. Still think he makes the playoffs. This could be the dumbest pick I make this week. But it's what I've got right now. Is Darrell upsetting Steve. Brutal for Steve. So Darrell would go to 4-2. Steve to 2-4. All right, game of the week time. That means there's only one left. That's the Janes against the Portland Ducks. Sean's been on a tear. Over 200 points almost every week. Bert's been disappointing a little bit. Right now, the projection is 195 for Bert for the Janes to 194 for Sean. The Janes right now, Hanoi Janes right now are 4-1. The Portland Ducks are 5-0, undefeated on the young season. Let's look through these matchups since this is the game of the week. At quarterback, we have Josh Allen playing at Tennessee for Bert. That's nice. That's a nice matchup. And then Tom Brady at Philly for Darrell. For Steve. For Sean. Fuck. Sorry. I'm trying not to swear as much in these videos in case my son hears it. For Sean. First, I said Darrell because it says Philly on my page, and that just made me go there. And then I don't know why Steve came next. Maybe I just like Steve more than Sean, I guess. I don't know. Tom Brady at Philly for Sean. Projected for about 30 points, 29.28. Not as good of a matchup. I don't like it as much as Josh Allen versus Tennessee. Neither does the projections. Josh Allen had an amazing week last week, and I think he's about to go on a tear through the NFL right now. He already has been a little bit, but I noticed Bert was playing Kyler more. Now it seems like the switch has been made to Josh Allen. It's exactly what I would have done. And I got Josh Allen crushing in this. And Tom Brady's been unbelievable, especially at his young age, to be scoring the way he is. But I think this is going to be a slightly tougher matchup for him. Philly's defense is still okay. They're good, and it's at Philly. I think Tennessee's defense is not good, which is why I give this the benefit of the doubt to Josh Allen in this matchup. Now, running back, this is a question because is Dalvin going to play? Dalvin Cook has missed, I think, 2 of the last 3 weeks, 3 of the last 4 weeks, something in that range, 2 of the last 3 maybe. But he's still projected for 24 points in this game at Carolina, who's been a better than expected defense. And then he's got Aaron Jones at Chicago. Always, they're pretty good against the run. Those two together are projected for about 47 points. Meanwhile, Sean has Jonathan Taylor versus Houston at home, who's only projected for 22 points. And Najee Harris versus Seattle, projected for 22 points. So at home, 44 points between them. I think if Dalvin Cook plays this game, I could see Bert winning this matchup. But I feel like Sean's going to win this matchup this week. Home games, I don't know if Dalvin Cook's going to play. And if Dalvin doesn't play, Bert's moving some flex players in. Maybe Miles Sanders, Devontae Booker. I don't know who's going to slide in there. I'm going to give this to Sean. If Dalvin Cook plays fully healthy, then I give it to Bert. But I can't do that right now, so I'm going to give this part of the matchup to Sean's favor, upsetting that pick. Wide receivers. It seems like on projection, hey, what's up, buddy? You want to come sit on the couch with me? I'm doing a little video. You want to come say hi to the guys? You got your shoes on? All right, there he goes. Please, yeah, come on over, sit down. Oh, gosh, okay, or do that. Hey, dude, why don't you say hi? Okay, there he goes. That was Mark, everybody. Don't turn it, no, don't hit that button. You stinker. He's trying to open the garage door. Mark, I gotta finish this video, buddy, okay? So why don't you sit down with me or go inside? Stop. No, go inside or sit down with me. All right. Love you, dude. See you soon. All right. Okay, back to the wide receivers. So this on projections favors Bert. I don't believe it, though. He's got DeAndre Hopkins versus Cleveland. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I wish I knew more about how DeAndre Hopkins been doing. I must admit that as the commish, I don't have the information on that one I want. But I know that Cleveland secondary is good, and I feel like they will shut down the guy that they want, and then it's got to be up to the rest of the Cardinals to make the difference there, which is exactly what Justin Herbert did last week, was spread the ball around. And I think that's what the Cardinals, what the Cardinals are going to need to do. So maybe DeAndre Hopkins doesn't hit his lofty projections. He's got Cooper Kupp versus the Giants. Man, Cooper Kupp, I love the guy. That's a good matchup. And he's got Mike Williams against Baltimore. That could be, who knows? That could be a 35-point game. It really could. And I think a lot of this matchup is going to hinge on Mike Williams on this wide receiver battle. So on Sean's side, he's got Terry McLaurin against KC. That could be really good. They're going to need to throw the ball. They're going to need to keep up because their defense, as I said, unless their defense turns it around and starts hitting the quarterback, they're going to have to keep up in that game. He's got Jamar Chase at Detroit. That could be real sweet. And then he's got DJ Moore at Minnesota. Minnesota's defense, man, you expect that team to be better at defense. I feel like they're starting to show some signs of life. But and DJ Moore, just an up-and-down player. Always is. Wide receivers are inconsistent players. They are. It's an inconsistent position. Teams can take your receiver away. Is that what Minnesota chooses to do? If Christian McCaffrey plays, that's a no. If Christian McCaffrey plays, DJ Moore is going to have a bigger game because they can't just take away the DJ Moore. Robbie Anderson does not scare most teams. Yes, he will get some PPR points. But if Christian McCaffrey does not play, they're going to take away DJ Moore. That's going to be the number one thing on their docket. Stop DJ Moore. So, interesting tie-in between my game with Lucas and this game with Justin Herbert against Baltimore, Mike Williams for Bert, Christian McCaffrey for me against Minnesota, and whether he plays will affect DJ Moore against Minnesota for Sean. Right now, I originally had Sean just start to win this wide receiver matchup, and I think with the Terry McLaurin KC battle, I'm still going to go with that. But man, that Mike Williams scares me. That guy scares me if I'm playing against him. So I'm going to put a star right now on Sean, but it's close. And that's going to become important in my projection. Tight end. This is not so close. Jared Cook. Jared Cook had a 20-point game a couple weeks ago and then had like a 3-point game. And he's going up against Mark Andrews, who can do the same thing, just disappear, but he had 40-some-odd points last week. Jared Cook's playing against Baltimore. Again, Justin Herbert. Spread the ball around. Could be a big game for the Chargers passing game. And Mark Andrews is against that Chargers team, going for 14 points in the projection, 14.8. It's a good Chargers secondary. That's a good defense. This should be a win for Sean, but it's one of those. I don't know. I don't like picking this for Sean because Mark Andrews could again score 40, or he could score 5, and Jared Cooks could score 25, or he could score 2 or 3. And they're just not consistent players, but they both have big game potential. Obviously, I think the smartest choice is to go with Mark Andrews here. I'm going to pick Sean to win that matchup. I don't feel warm and fuzzy about it. In the flex, we got Robert Woods for Bert at the Giants, going for about 15 points of projections. And he's got Miles Sanders going for 14.48 against Tampa. I don't like that. I don't like Miles Sanders against Tampa. I could see him putting in Devontae Booker, who he just picked up, who's going to give him about the same projection. And that's against the Rams. Still don't like that matchup. So he's got Miles Sanders against the Bucks. Don't like it. He's got Devontae Booker against the Rams. Don't like it. Sean has Michael Pittman versus Houston. Like it. Love it. Gotta have it. That's, what is that, Cold Stone? Yeah, I think that's Cold Stone. And then he's got Amari Cooper at New England. Don't like that. Don't like that matchup at all. I don't know. I don't know who Bill Belichick's going to want to take away more, Cooper or CeeDee Lamb. That's going to be a big key, is what's Belichick's focus here. For the flex, though, I'm picking Sean to win that flex battle. I think that's more likely. If New England focuses on clamping down on Cooper, Or will they go against Zeke? I don't know what they're going to want to force to do. You never, Belichick, who knows? So who he decides to take out of the game, though, will probably be somewhat taken out of the game. But that's going to open up other players. Defensive battle, this is big. Bert's got the Rams against the New York Giants and Mike Glennon. Is it Mike Glennon? Oh, God. So that's big. That could be a huge point scoring opportunity for the Rams. No Saquon Barkley, no Daniel Jones, no Kenny Golladay. I don't know if Sterling Shepard's going to be back. I don't know if Darius Slayton's going to be back. This could be a 20-point defensive effort for Bert's team. It's going to be a big part of this game. Denver's got the Las Vegas Raiders, 12-point projection. So this is only a 1.5-point difference, almost 1.8-point difference between the two defenses, and I think this heavily favors Bert right now. The Raiders, man, maybe they'll rally around each other after all this Gruden crap, after his nonsense. They've got to get Darren Waller involved more. They've got to focus on that. I guess teams just want to shut that down. They know that's it. That's what the Raiders have. But I would much rather have the Rams defense against the Giants with all of their absences rather than the Broncos defense, who has been good against Vegas. So I think that's a win for Bert there. Here's the keys for this one. If Bert's within 5 points in the wide receiver battle, he wins. I think that's my projection. If Bert is within 5 points or wins the wide receiver battle, he wins. If Sean, I want to see Sean's wide receivers really beat Bert's in order to win this game. And I think he could. I think that could happen. Again, I'm projecting his wide receivers to beat their projection. Maybe Bert's don't match their projection, and Sean would win that battle, and that would favor Sean. Sean also wins if Dalvin Cook doesn't play. That's the two keys. Wide receiver battle, is Bert within 5 or does he beat Sean? And does Dalvin Cook play? I think Dalvin Cook will play. I think I like Mike Williams a lot. I think I'm going to go with Bert winning this game. But, I don't want to keep saying I don't like it, but this is a tough week. There are some tough games to pick in this week. I just love what Justin Herbert's doing. I see Mike Williams becoming his go-to, which kills me as a Keenan Allen manager. But I think Bert's going to have a bounce back. Maybe Sean finally has a little letdown week, possibly. Although when I look across his roster, I don't see it. I don't see the letdown, so maybe I'm wrong about this. Ugh. God, I don't like it, guys. I'm going to pick Bert, though, for now. Also, that would put a little 5-1 tie at the top, kind of more interesting. But that's it. That's it for the week. Thank you, guys. Longer video. I like it. I like being back to that, 37 minutes. We're coming close to the Halloween video. I don't know if it's going to be next week or the week after. Probably the week after makes more sense. But you guys know I love my Halloween video. See what I can figure out for that one, okay? All right. Peace out, Schwing Dynasty.